Okay, so it is coming up to 12:05 now, so I think it's a good time to start off. I know Colin's got a lot to cover today, and I'm sure most of the people will have questions at the end as well, but do feel free to ask questions throughout, and I'll make sure that they do get asked and answered by myself or Colin. So today is a Smart Solution Showcase webinar, which are a series of webinars that are delivered by the Year of Smart Towns project. And these webinars are an opportunity for companies such as Mae Miconex to demonstrate what technologies are already available to help regenerate and revitalise towns across Wales, and also an opportunity for the towns in Wales, or for people in towns in Wales, to attend these webinars, to learn more, and ultimately to ask questions that they might have for these companies. There will be a session right at the end for questions, but do ask them throughout if you want. The session will be recorded and shared with everybody who's registered, and do feel free to send that on as well. So that's it from me. I'll now transfer to Colin, who's the Managing Director of Mae Miconex, a platform. Well, he's going to be discussing two platforms today: a local gift card scheme and a loyalty scheme for a town that helps encourage local spend, but also helps the town monitor how money is being spent in their town. So with that being said, I'll hand it over to you, Colin.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Much appreciated. Hi to everyone. My name is Colin Monroe. As Thomas said, I'm Managing Director of Mae Miconex. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm based in Scotland, not Wales. I'm just going to share screen now and flick into a presentation I prepared for this. So hopefully you're following me. Thomas, give me a nod if you can see.
I can see, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. So Mae Miconex have been around for just over a decade now, and we've been working with local authorities and business improvement districts in the UK, and we've actually gone on to expand to work in Ireland, in the US and Canada over the last 18 months. You know, our reason for being is to try and assist and develop platforms that help to drive local spend, quite simply. And as Thomas said, we've got two programs that are now up and running and well established throughout the United Kingdom. The first one that I'm going to speak about is the Town and City Gift Card Programme. And the second one is a loyalty platform, a smart loyalty solution for towns and cities, which is really all about data and understanding customer behaviour. So hopefully we'll have enough time to get through both of those solutions, with plenty of time to talk about them as well and answer questions as they come up. So first of all, Town and City gift cards. What we're trying to do here is, you know, lock in money for business communities, increase footfall, and drive, you know, people into towns with money to spend. Where do we do it? Well, we started off in Perth, working with Perth and Kinross Council. The top left there was our first gift card programme. Towns and cities of all shapes and sizes. So this works for a population of 5,000. It also works for a population of 500,000. And I'll go on to explain why this is such a kind of adaptable programme. Sales of Town and City gift card programmes have been increasing, you know, drastically as people start to understand this consumer proposition, and we're expecting sales. We're on track actually for sales of over £5 million worth of gift card programmes, and all of that money can only be spent in this. Bottom left here, at the moment we're delivering 32 gift card programmes, one for each of the different local authorities in Scotland, which will mean that every business in Scotland can register for their own Scotland Loves Local gift card programme, and that creates a huge opportunity to lock in money for local businesses. We're expecting, you know, in the first year this to be a, you know, £15 million plus gift card programme. And you'll go into, hopefully I'll go on to explain the benefits that are associated with each and every one of those gift cards. I'm going to just take a quick pause, and I'm going to have a video, or maybe two, that explain the consumer proposition. So this is a consumer product. So the first one I'm going to do is Chester, who delivered this video to promote their gift card program for Christmas last year.
Buy your Chester gift card at the Visitor Information Centre or at chestergiftcard.com. No, I'm trying to save, I swear.
I've got tea, you can have one of mine. I'll be there when you need me. I'll never ask why. I'll be your friend. But thank you for being mine too.
Lads, these are on the jet down there.
I'll be your friend. And thank you for being mine too.
Right, I think they did a fantastic job there of promoting the Chester gift card, but also Chester at the same time. That's what these programs are all about. I'm going to play a second video. I want us to start thinking about is the Wolverhampton gift card or the Chester gift card a better gift to give someone than an Amazon gift card?
Spend it here, spend it there, spend it almost anywhere. In a cafe for a bite to eat, at a jeweller's down on Princess Street. Catch a flick, a gig or a show, a cheeky cocktail at the boho. With great independence and big brands you'll adore. There's all you could want, there's that and lots more. A new TV, some fine deli ham, a day at the shops and then chill in the Ram. Give your hair sparkle, let your skin shine. You'll know you'll look awesome, yes, you'll look fine. It's a gift for a loved one or a super best friend. Give them the city with a gift they can spend. Get it in stores or buy it online. You'll know who accepts it. Just look for the sign. This is our Wolverhampton. Be proud, be vocal, do more, shop local with the Wolverhampton City Centre gift card.
Great, I love that video as well. I think, what we're seeing there is the gift of choice. We're giving someone something that they can spend in a town, in a place. It's much more than just retail, it's about experience, which is what, towns and cities are. And they can offer that, and Amazon can. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through 5 reasons why gift card programs are important. Essentially, we're creating a local currency here. Here's one, $10,000 a second getting spent on Amazon. We need to create propositions that compete with the Amazon proposition. This is one way we can do it. So as well as everyone spend sentiment towards local businesses. MasterCard are telling us that 2/3 of shoppers in the UK are now more likely to shop in their local. So, we need to do things that encourage people to take that action and to think locally. So, good thing about gift cards is people are looking to.
I am very sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened when I cut out. I'm not sure if everybody was kicked out, but it seems like everybody's still in the waiting room now. So
I think we're all good.
Welcome back, Thomas. Thank you. Yes. Apologies to everybody, including yourself, Colin. I don't know if it's possible to pick up from where I disconnected.
Yeah, sure.
I remember seeing that presentation last before everything went blank.
These things happen. I think we're all used to them these days, Thomas, you know, whether you're working from home or in an office, the disruptions are in.
It'll be interesting to see what the recording looks like. Hopefully I can tie them together.
Splice them in together, Okay, I'll just pick up then if that's okay. Yeah. I think where we were at was saying that everyone loves local. We've got people spend money online. We've got everyone loving local. We've got the ability to create a consumer proposition, I think, that people want. You know, people want to support local businesses. They've used gift cards as a way of doing that. And we've got the ability here to create one. And the reason that this works, the reason that this is deployable, the reason that it's achievable for towns and cities is because we use the MasterCard infrastructure. To be honest, you could swap MasterCard for Visa. There's not any difference really. But the benefit of doing this is that we're using an existing payments infrastructure in order to create a gift card program, a local gift card program, a local currency, which means that for merchants, for businesses in the towns and the cities, then it's free for them to join the program. We're not asking them for any discounts, any money off. What we're trying to do is drive more spend through their existing payment terminals using a proposition that consumers want. So all they have to do is register one time, and then people can come in and they can spend their gift card in the same way as they spend any other debit card, and the merchant gets their money in the same way as they get any other MasterCard debit transaction, no additional cost to the businesses. And that means that not only do the independent businesses want to get involved, so do the nationals. No one wants to miss out on money that's locked into the local economy. So we can help to network all those businesses together and create this fantastic consumer proposition. So what happens when someone receives a gift card like this? So if I give you a Cardiff gift card, what do you do? Well, the first thing you have to do is look to see where you're going to spend it. You're going to do a bit of research. Are you going to spend it in food and drink? Are you going to have a look around the shops? Are you going to have a leisure and entertainment experience? So it puts eyes on the local proposition. It starts getting you to think about where you're going to spend it. And then because I've given you some money to spend, or your employer's given you money to spend, whoever it is, you're more likely to explore and try new things. You're more likely to try a business you've not been to for the first time. 15% of redemptions are customers spending money in a business they've never been to before. And then 23% of those customers go on to become repeat customers. So this is a fantastic way of encouraging people to look local and then go and spend and try different businesses. How else can we achieve that? Ask. And then when people do go out to spend their gift card, on average, they spend 65% more than the value of the gift they've been given. So if you've been given a £50 gift card, you'll spend about £83 in total, because you kind of don't count the first part, and you don't mind getting that nice pair of shoes, the jacket, the nice lunch, the night out that you want. So it drives people to spend more of their own money. If you compare that user journey to buying someone an Amazon present online in a box getting delivered, where the money goes to Amazon and out with the local economy, then you can start to see how every one of those cards that is bought and purchased and given, has an impact. It engages local employers. So, 81% of companies want to already offer non-cash rewards to staff. And gift cards are, really popular in rewards and incentives for employers. And they tend to use the big ones. They tend not to, that money tends to go from the local employer and doesn't end up in the local economy. So here, by creating a proposition that consumers want, the local employers can give the local gift card to their staff. They enjoy that better than what they were getting before, and the employer's money goes into the local economy, helping to create, a vibrant, successful local economy. And once you've got this type of program in place, we're starting to find that, government use this local currency as well. So, a good example, working with East Ayrshire Council in Scotland, that they've put the gift cards into care packages at different types a year, so that they are giving people money, but with dignity, so that there's no stigma attached to receiving the East Ayrshire gift card, because other people are using it already, but they've tracked where that money gets spent, and people use it, to help support them over the important Christmas periods. They did another one in Easter. You can track where all of the money gets redeemed within the local economy. So it's a great way to disperse funds to people that need it very efficiently and give them more choice and do it with dignity. So another reason for doing it is that we've just developed a digital version of the gift card. So they're usually physical gift cards. And now, because of demand from consumers and the ability to do it technologically, we've managed to create a digital version of the gift card that you can add to your Apple, Google, Samsung wallet. So that means I can ping Thomas a gift of £50. He can download the app, add it to his wallet. He'll still only be able to spend that money, though, in the registered businesses that are connected with that money. So we can still drive that money into the local businesses, but we can do it digitally. And there's all sorts of, opportunities around that recipient journey about additional information you can give to people, along with the money that they've got to spend in the local economy. So quickly, Mae Miconex work with towns, cities, and regions to help scope, design the cards, set up the e-commerce platform. We provide all of the administration required to run the programs, so that enables our clients to focus on success. And we also get quite involved in that as well, in terms of working with our clients. We don't see the delivery of a gift card program as the end of our job. We see that as the start. Then it's about how do we work with the teams to look at consumer opportunities, corporate sales, government use, different sales channels, growing the program, because we know that every one of those gift cards in circulation makes a difference. So we get involved in the sort of the success side of the project. That's what interests us most. So I'm going to pause here, Thomas, and see if there's any questions about gift card programs before going on to talk about loyalty. Oh, I think we can't hear you, Thomas.
Yeah, that was my fault. Nothing to do with the connection, just me forgetting to unmute myself. So if anybody's got any specific question about the gift card before Colin moves on to talk about the loyalty scheme, now's your opportunity. I'll ask, I'm not sure if you covered this whilst I was disconnected, but after sending an invite out to this event, Newport got in touch with me to tell me that they've had the gift card since I think 2017, and they still have the local gift card there. So it's obviously being deployed and worked well in Wales. Are there other towns in Wales as well that have signed up?
Yeah, I did actually mention that when you dropped out there, Thomas. But the Newport, Mae'r, Cardiff programs have been up and running for some time. And Swansea have just signed off on a program as well. So there's going to be a Swansea gift card in place for Christmas too. So yeah, all of the programs, you can see on the townandcitygiftcard.com website. So you can explore that website there. You can see all of our programs. You can see the extent of the number of businesses from different sectors that are registered to accept the money.
Yeah, and straight in there with the cost question from Mae'r. Thank you, Mae'r. I guess this is pretty much dependent on the town and how much engagement. Is that true, or is it kind of a similar cost for?
It's very similar. The way that we've tried to structure things is similar. There are exceptions. So if we were to do the whole of Wales, there might be more costs involved compared to doing an individual town. But generally, the setup of the program and then the working on success with clients it's around about £9,000 to £10,000 a year to have a gift card program in place. And that covers a fully managed service. So that's all of the fulfillment of orders that are ordered via the website, corporate orders. There's call center support for card holders. There's support for merchants. There's a very active client success program. So what we find best is working across all of the programs and sharing best practice and getting gift card program operators to talk to each other and learn from each other and share that. That really accelerates the growth of the programs. So yeah, so 9 to 10K per year for a fully supported gift card program.
And then on top of that question, a follow-on really, maybe not just in Wales, but what sort of organisations usually take responsibility for the cost and for the platform itself?
Yeah, so I really believe the best way to deliver successful programs is if a single entity picks up the costs, and you don't try and pass that on to all the businesses, because that really gets in the way of success. So local authorities and business improvement districts are generally our clients. So there's a real mix across the board. More and more local authorities are getting involved, probably due to what's happened over the last couple of years. So if there's no bid in place in that area, the local authority needs to step in and help to provide these types of infrastructure for the business communities. So they tend to be our clients. Whoever's responsible for driving local spend,
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think that answered the question that came into the chat. There's a few that's come into the Q&A one as well. The first one's, I think it's two separate questions. First one being, is there a minimum number of businesses that you'd need for the scheme?
Well, when you launch the gift card program is when it is representative of the place that's on the front of the gift card. So that can be a number, or it can be the right businesses. So if you have 20 of the right businesses on there and you think that's representative of the place, that could be enough to launch the gift card program. Others, tend to look for 40, 50 businesses, but it is about a consumer product at the end of the day. It's where you can spend that gift card. That's the strength of it. So yeah, so it's it's not a black and white answer, but I think it comes down to, if it says that on the place, if the place name's on the front of it, then it needs to be representative.
Yeah, and then the second part to that question was how would it get promoted? How would the gift card get promoted? Is that responsibility for marketing something that an organisation like the bid or the local authority would take on, or is it a collaborative effort?
It's collaborative, but ultimately, I think we've learned over the years that the best person to market a local gift card program is the place itself. If we try and take responsibility for promoting 60, 70 different places across the UK, it's going to be failure. So our role is to support local efforts, and we've got dedicated digital marketing manager that works with all our clients. We provide assets and campaigns that go out for student markets, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, for Christmas. So we provide a lot of content and assets, but in terms of reaching the people in the local area, then that's left to the clients. So it is collaborative, completely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So that was a two-part question. Another one here: how long does it usually take to get the program set up for a town?
So 5 to 6 weeks it takes. The critical parts of the project plan there are the designing of the card. That's the bit that we need up front, because we need to commission the program with MasterCards, and we can't do that without the card design. We also need to print the cards, and that takes 5 weeks to get the production lined up and the programs approved, etc. During that time, we work with the client to push out the information to get the merchants onboarded and registered, and we get the e-commerce website set up, which we take responsibility for. so that when the cards arrive, you're kind of ready to launch the program.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm just conscious of time because I know you've got the loyalty scheme platform. So we've got one more question, and I think we'll move on to the loyalty scheme platform because I personally, I'm very interested in that. So I'd like everybody to hear more about it. So the last question, the places you've deployed in Wales are cities and large towns. Do you think it would work equally well in a small town, and have you got any examples of smaller towns that you have deployed in and it has worked well?
Yeah, actually, you know, there's an interesting adoption sort of curve that we're starting to see. You know, the larger the place, the bigger the opportunity in terms of overall sales in the long term, but the harder it is to kind of get the message out about the gift card. You know, so in a smaller community, it's much easier to get the word out to local consumers, to employers, and you see that actually the adoption curve's much steeper. So an example of that would be, you know, Enniskillen maybe in Northern Ireland. It's still, you know, it's a reasonable sized town. It's 15,000 population. They're now selling £120,000 worth of gift cards every year into that market. You know, so, and that's purely because, you know, the person that runs the program over there, Noelle, you know, she has the ability to tell people it's a great idea to buy the Enniskillen gift card, and she doesn't miss any opportunity to do that. So yeah, I think in the smaller communities it's actually easier to get quicker traction.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't think of. Yeah, so thank you for asking that question, and that answer definitely answered it. Thank you, Colin. So if everybody's happy with those questions and answers, I'll ask you to move on to the loyalty platform now then.
No problem. Thanks, Thomas. Okay, so I'm gonna, you know, draw a line in the sand here, and we're going to talk about loyalty rather than gift cards. Going to put that to one side. Again, our journey here starts in Perth, working with Perth and Kinross Council, and you know, a whole group of great businesses in Perth that are, you know, they're definitely not guinea pigs, but you know, they are our test bed, and they like doing that because they're quite innovative and they like trying new things. They like trying to help to work out the kind of issues that exist when you try to deploy programs across a network of, you know, 50, 100 different businesses. And as we all know in this webinar, I think that's not easy to do. So you need to take any kind of friction or barriers really seriously and try and work out how do you overcome them, I think. So again, you know, we're really lucky that we've got a group of businesses here in the local authority that are, you know, willing to work with us. And I guess we're willing to work with them to get to where we're trying to get to. So My-Rewards started off in Perth, working with Perth and Kinross Council, and now we've started to roll this loyalty program out over the UK. That's been slightly delayed due to the pandemic and the fact that no one's really wanted to shout about getting people into town centres, but now we've picked up the pace and there's lots of new programs going live for My-Rewards in time for Christmas. It's not a year-round platform. It doesn't really matter when you launch the loyalty program, to be honest. But you can see there's something missing from these lists. There's no Welsh towns or cities on this list right now, Thomas. So it's something that we want to change. So I'll go on and explain the program, and who knows, you know, there might be someone in this call that wants to be part of this group that are exploring how to use, you know, open banking data and a different approach to loyalty. So here's a bold statement when you're starting a loyalty presentation for towns and cities. Well, they don't work, you know, and that's the conclusion that I came to probably 4 or 5 years ago, having tried to make loyalty programs work for 5, 6 years. There were so many barriers to making them work that we took a step back and we started exploring local currencies and gift card programs. But things change, you know, technology moves on, and I think with the changes to the open banking data and card-linked program technology, there's a new way of doing things, and that's what we've been trying to work on over the last 2.5 years. So why don't they work, right? You know, just to set the scene for loyalty, because I think it's really important. Loyalty sounds really easy. You know, the world to do would be to copy successful loyalty programs and apply that approach to towns and cities. So let's look at Tesco's. You know, let's go back to 1995, which is the year before they launched Clubcard. Tesco's had a lot of data, so they would know when, you know, how many products were purchased, what price they were, you know, whether more of that type of products being purchased this month compared to last month. They would know times of day that products were being purchased, which stores they were getting purchased in, loads of data, but they knew nothing about their customers. So what they did was give everyone a loyalty card and asked people to start to identify themselves when they transacted with Tesco's. So if you think about it, the way that works is classic loyalty program. I've got a card, I go to the checkout, and while I'm paying for my basket, I present my loyalty card, they scan it, and that connects the ID on my loyalty card to that basket of goods that I've purchased. And by doing that over time, they can start to understand me as a customer and what I like to buy, how often I come in, you know, whether that's going up or down. They can start to track individual people and how they transact with Tesco's. So that's how a loyalty program works. And they do it because they want to know about their customers. By knowing about their customers, they can then measure things. So they can measure the impact of a new product line that they introduce. Does Colin purchase that product line? They can measure the impact of promotions and communications. Do I respond to those? They can measure the impact of different store layouts. They can measure the impact of competitors opening up nearby. And they can do that, and instead of talking about customers as a whole, they can start to talk about different types of customers. They can talk about lifetime value of customers. They can talk about all these different metrics that really they run their whole business from this type of data, really. They can understand where to open new stores. They can, you know, everything, all that data is essential for the business. And the same, that's why Boots have programs. That's why Marks and Spencer's keep trying to launch loyalty programs. So, right, sounds easy. Let's give everyone in a town a loyalty card, and we'll ask them to identify themselves when they spend money in the town. But that's where the problem starts. You know, so if I walk into one of 100 businesses with my town loyalty card, what am I meant to do? Am I meant to go to the till and scan it as I transact? And is that going to work across 100 different till systems in town? Well, the answer to that's no. You can't do it that way because everyone has different point of sale systems. So you can't scan the ID and get that data in the same way as an individual brand loyalty program. The only example of that really working, you would say, is Nectar. So Nectar works in a specific way that it does scan your Nectar card and it does link it to your transaction. Then it communicates that data into the cloud and Nectar get the data. But that's a deep integration with the till system that allows that to happen, which is why you can't really expand Nectar to work across a whole town, because you would need to integrate Nectar into each one of the till systems across a whole town and make that a stable environment. And believe me, having tried to do that with some Innovate UK funding, and we did that successfully over 3 businesses, trying to expand that to even 10 businesses in a town would be nearly impossible. You would never get there. So there's been a technological barrier to rolling out smart loyalty programs for towns up to this point. And that's why we've gone down much simpler solutions for towns. So we've broken some golden rules. We've said, you know what, we can't do that. So we'll give everyone a loyalty card anyway, and they can just rock up to a business, show their loyalty card, and we'll persuade the business to give them some money off, or we'll persuade the business to give them something extra. There's no data involved. We don't know who the customer is. We don't know if they've been in or not. We don't know what they bought. We don't know how often they come in, whether it's going up or down. And the business gets no data either. We're just trying to reduce money in the local economy. I think we're trying to give away stuff. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's no exchange of value there for that type of program. And there's no real evidence, although it's been done 1,000 times, of it having any impact in local economies that I can find out. So that's the landscape, if you like, for loyalty programs. And it's really difficult. So, you know, loyalty programs, if you think about in a town, lots of businesses will already have their own loyalty program. We're not going to ask them to stop doing that. So therefore, our loyalty program needs to work alongside their own loyalty program. We've also got to consider staff training. You know, if there's 100 different businesses involved in the loyalty program, then there's going to be nearly a new member of staff every day that's going to have to know what to do for the town loyalty program as well as their own loyalty program. And if you start having bad customer experience, then people very quickly drop out of the loyalty program. So something that sounds really simple to start off with, once you start digging into it, is really difficult to deliver a loyalty program for a place that works alongside everything that's happening in there, all of the existing loyalty programs, the technology, and all of the people that are involved in a town. How do you make it work? That's the puzzle. So I'll cut to the chase. This is what we've designed. This is called Mae-Rewards. It's called Spend Local, Win Big. And that's what we're trying to get people to do. We're getting people to spend local. And simply, you do it in 3 different ways. So you set up your Mae-Rewards account online via the website or via the smartphone app, doesn't really matter. And you link your existing payment cards to your account. So you link your debit card, your credit card, your MasterCard, your Visa, your American Express, your personal card, your business card, whatever you use to spend money, you link it to your profile. And that's all you have to do. We're not going to give you a loyalty card. We're not going to ask you to use a smartphone app when you're at the point of sale and you're fishing about for the app, trying to find the right screen. We're not going to ask you to scan anything. We're not going to ask you to speak to any member of staff. We're just going to say, register, link your payment cards, and go out and spend money. And as soon as you start spending money in all of the local businesses, you automatically start earning points. So that's the key. So you earn 1 point for every pound that you spend, and every 10 points, you've got the chance of winning the fantastic monthly prize that's put up by the town or the place to encourage you to spend money locally. Now, these prizes are there to appeal to different segments of the local population, and more people join Mae-Rewards every month. And these are people then that are automatically being rewarded via the program. So I might try and do something, just drop out of this, Thomas, if that's all right, and demo live the platform. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's try to do that. Just be 2 seconds as I switch screen here. There we go. Okay. So hopefully we can see this screen now. This is me logged into Mae-Rewards. We can see that there's a prize this month. We've got a partnership with Stagecoach. They're offering free travel. And this is the prize you can win if only you spend money in Perth. So this is me in Perth now. Where can I spend money? Well, I can look at all the participating businesses. In Perth, we can see shoe shops, cafes. There's a sports centre, cafe, shop, restaurant, Brook Taverner, Brown Blacks, another leisure centre, butchers, Indian restaurant, etc., etc. So you've got all of these places that are part of the loyalty program. So these are all active loyalty participants again. So we've managed to develop a framework here that we can get lots of businesses involved from different sectors of the community. When I go out and spend money, I earn points automatically. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to, you know, change my behavior at the point of sale. You can see here I'm earning points at Brew and Chew, at Willows, as I'm going to spend money. I can see on my account here that I have linked several different cards to my account. So if I spend money with any of these cards, It doesn't matter if I use a card, my phone, my watch, doesn't matter. As long as I spend money using a linked card, I'll automatically earn points. So, and there's, there is smartphone apps that do all this. You can download the My-Rewards app, you can register, you can get all this information about where you're spending money locally, the latest prizes, all of that. And when, if you're using the app, you also get pinged a thank you every time you spend money locally. It says, thanks Colin for spending £15 in Willows today. You've just earned points. Thanks for supporting local businesses. So we can start to communicate with consumers in real time based on how they're spending money in the local economy. Now, the reason that we're doing all this is definitely to encourage people to spend money locally, but we're also building up data. So every time I spend money on My-Rewards, you can see the system can understand where I've been, so we can start to track, how valuable is Colin to Perth? Does he spend money in retail? Does he spend money in the mornings? Does he spend money in the afternoons? Does he ever spend money in food and drink businesses? Obviously, we're not interested in me as an individual, but we're interested in understanding customers. And then this is us kind of logged in now to the reporting system, we can start as a city to understand what's going on out there. What Perth sits right behind me as I'm speaking. So who are our customers? Are we getting more of them? Are we getting less of them? What times do they come in? What sectors do they spend money in? What types of customers are they? So if I just flick, this is a dashboard on the left here, we can see some worrying trends in the last 7 days and slightly less worrying trends in the last 30 days, which might make me want to kind of drill into this and find out about different types of customers that we have. So we've linked this whole platform to a segmentation system called Mosaic, which is provided by Experian, which enables us to stop talking about customers as a single mass and start talking about different types of customers. So you can see probably very small type here on screen. There's different descriptions of different segments of consumers, and we can start to see if we're getting more or less of those types of people. Are they spending money in Perth? And we can look at different comparison periods of time. So if there is an event going on this weekend, we can look and see what types of customers came in for that event. Did they spend money in retail, food and drink, etc. So it's really, really valuable data. And I'm going to stop and go back to the presentation here. So forgive me for doing that. I'm nearly finished, and I'll open it up, Thomas, because I know we're kind of running out of time a little bit. Can you see the presentation again? Cool. So benefits of My-Rewards, the businesses also get access to all the data. So they can see data about their customers. They can start to learn about average value of customers, lapsed customers, etc. Place managers can see all of the data and analyze that, as we've just seen. But I was going to go on to explain some of the ways that this data is now being used in Perth to design different initiatives to appeal to different types of customers, to look at people that used to spend money in Perth but are no longer active. How do we re-engage these people, encourage them to come back in? So that type of activity we've started doing with Stagecoach, with Perth Ross Council, etc. I would say that finally, the focus for a lot of our programs at the moment is building the data. So this data is going to be more and more valuable over time, because you want to compare different periods with one another so that you can understand what's going on out there and what types of customers are using the city, etc. But anyway, I'm kind of wanting to make sure we have time to throw open for questions, Thomas.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because I'm sure people will have questions about the loyalty platform. I'll start off, if you don't mind. I think you did mention right at the end there that the support that you do offer to the towns or councils with some initiatives. So it's not the platform's not something you would give a council and expect them. I mean, they're more than welcome to dig through the data, come up with some initiatives, but Mae-Rewards also work with the town to help them identify patterns and come up with some initiatives, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, once the data's there, the great thing about this, I think, Thomas, the exciting thing is about this is, you know, every consumer that registers and link cards, the data generates automatically. So you're not obsessed with, oh, we need to get better offers, we need to do this, we need to do that. It kind of, the whole thing works automatically, which enables you then over time to start looking at the data and using that. So that's something that, again, when you saw the different clients that were on that screen, you know, Barnsley, Stoke, Guildford, Fleet, you know, Perth, they've all got the same questions. So we work together as a group to ask questions of the data, and then we can do analysis and start answering those questions. So yeah, it's something that, you know, success for us is actually the use of the data in a way. You know, we need to get there over a period of building that up, but then for us, it's success lies in how do we use the data to drive further spend into the marketplace. So yeah, we're totally involved in all of that.
Yeah, okay. An interesting question has come up. Is there an opportunity to link to wider agenda, such as awarding points for using active travel, public transport of methods to go into the town?
Yeah, really interesting. So I think I did mention Stagecoach there. I mean, it can be any transport company that we can link to. So you can basically track any card spend. So we can link it to the Stagecoach. We've linked it to the Stagecoach smartphone app, to their website, and when people spend money on the buses directly with a card. So you can track offline and online spend, and that applies to any business as well. So if a business in town has an online store and you want to reward people for spending online as well as through when they come in to spend money across the counter, then you can do that. And you can link that data together to one individual consumer. So you can start to understand this customer, I'm an individual, I'm only one person, I'm not two people. You know, I spend money with this business when I come in, but I also spend money online. And that's really difficult to do any other way. And it's something that Stagecoach themselves find very difficult to do, as you can imagine. You know, if people are buying tickets on their app and then they just rock up and buy one on the bus, they've no way of connecting that. But that can be done via Mae-Rewards. So yeah, anywhere you can spend money is a simple answer to that. You would see that there was mobility points on my profile as well. So we have been working on another way of rewarding people. It's just in beta, it's in testing. So we're trying to say, right, can we automatically reward people with points when they walk into town? Now, obviously, we're not charging them for doing that. So we need to find another way of tracking their location and their mode of travel so that we can reward them automatically when they enter a certain area of the city centre. And then we can build points on that. And that also adds to the data. So we start to understand these people walk and they spend money like this in these types of places. These people take the bus and they spend money in the place in this. What then happens if we change the bus route? What then happens if we have a cycle path initiative? You know, so, you know, the data, putting it all in one pot enables you to slice and dice. And I think having a ubiquitous sort of loyalty platform rather than lots of different things, you're asking the customer to join one program rather than lots of different things makes a lot more sense. So yeah.
So, without disclosing too much, and obviously it's in beta mode, would that become kind of under the same loyalty program, the traveling points?
Yeah, it'll be a module within Mae-Rewards. Yeah, exactly. So you can switch on or not, and you can decide what your kind of target zone is and what the rules are for rewarding points when you enter that target zone from journeys that start out with. I would say that, you know, it's very sophisticated technology that goes into that, and it's never going to be 100% accurate because of the pace people walk at, they stop, how far outside the zone do they start, what type of phone do they have, battery, all of these things go into mobility tracking. Yeah. So whereas payments is an exact science, mobility isn't. So, that's why there's a lot of testing involved behind the scenes before we release anything. But, it makes sense to try and put it into one place, I think, in terms of data.
Yeah, I recently came across a similar initiative in Italy. I can't remember, Milan, I think, where they were rewarding people for using public transport, bikes, walking. So
better points, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've answered that first question. Can the loyalty scheme and the gift card be automatically linked?
Automatically, they can be linked. So next year is about the gift card program and the loyalty program. I want to stand on their own 2 feet in a way that they stand on their own. 2021 will be starting to link them more automatically together into one proposition. But even now, you can do 2 things. So the gift cards, is a MasterCard. So I can add my gift cards. Some of those cards you saw linked on my profile were gift cards that I had. So I can link my gift card to my loyalty account. And then when I spend my gift card, I earn points. So, you can do that. You can also earn points for purchasing gift cards on the website, because we can link the website to the loyalty platform. So when you purchase a gift card, you're earning points for that. So and then, when you think about the digital gifting that we started talking about, Thomas, you can say, imagine I gift you £50 to spend locally. You have to download an app for that. You need to register in order to accept that money. And there's a real opportunity there to go, would you like to join the loyalty program and link your own payment card? So there's huge opportunities to kind of link the two as we move forward and with that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm aware of time. I mean, have you got something after this, Colin? If we can work through these questions, I'm free after 1.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, we'll carry on, and then if people who are still in the audience want to ask further questions, we'll try and work our way through as many as we can. So there's one question that's come in. I think this person might think that Newport, Cardiff, and Mae'r have the loyalty scheme as well, which they don't, do they? It's nowhere in Wales have the loyalty scheme. They have the gift card. But then the second part to the question is, who's like the key contact or the owner for the loyalty platform in Perth, for example?
So in Perth, our client is Perth and Granose Council. It's the economic development officer there that's the lead, so Emily Knight. We would be delighted to talk about the project with anyone. Speaking on her behalf, she has given me authority to do this. But then when we look at that, the other brands that were on the slide, you've got a real mix of business improvement districts and local authorities. So you had Barnsley Metropolitan Council, you had Fife Council, but you have Guildford Business Improvement District, Enniskillen Business Improvement District, Fleet. So there's a real mix of local authorities and business improvement districts.
Okay. Next one then. What are the associated costs with the loyalty program?
So this one is a little bit more variable depending on the size, because of the data costs involved. So, the good news is, like, every time that someone spends money, we can kind of track that transaction, but we do have to pay for the privilege. So the more volume of data there is, the more expensive, therefore the bigger the place, the more expensive it will be to run My-Rewards. But then, you'll also have deeper, richer, bigger data sets. So it's around about £5,000 to set the program up in the first place, and then anywhere from £350, £400 a month up to £2,000 a month, depending on the size of the place and the potential data volumes.
Yeah, but
with that, again, it's a fully supported program. So we've learned that over the years that we provide all the support for merchants, for users, that my points, I spent money here but my points haven't shown up yet. Those types of inquiries all come into to Miconex. So there's very little other than the design of the competitions, which we help with. And, there's very little administration to be done on the program.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair answer. And then last question I have up on my screen is, can participating businesses see the data relevant to their business as well as the place-based data?
Yes, and it's something I should have covered myself in a lot more detail than I did. So that's key to this, is also so that the client, our clients have logins, so they can see all of the data in the program. But every individual business also has a login to the system, so they can see the data that relates to their customers. So all of the same reporting, but just their customer data.
Yeah, so for an individual business who would want access to the dashboard, they'd have to get in touch with the kind of the place or the bid.
No, as part of the registration process, we look after that. We provide all the login details for action on it. There's two other elements I just wanted to touch on in terms of roadmap stuff that relates to businesses, which I think is really exciting. One of them is going to be released in October. So, I mean, it's going to be available for any new implementations, really, which is business level prize draws. So at the moment, we've talked about the town, the city, the place, putting up the prize that people want to win, which will still happen, but the businesses themselves will also have the opportunity to run their own prize draw for their customers as part of the platform for free at no cost. So they'll be able to say, right, I want to run a prize draw for 5 days this week, midweek. Anyone that comes and spends money in the business gets the chance of winning X. So they'll be able to set that up themselves. Now, what that will do is some of the businesses will want to use that, and they'll push the message out to their customer bases, and more of their customers will register for the loyalty platform as well. So instead of just the town promoting the program, you'll also be able to get more and more of the businesses promoting the program as well. So more and more customers will then be part of the implementation. So I think that's really interesting, exciting. And the part that we're going to be working on after that is the huge communication opportunities for businesses. So, if I go, you probably saw on my profile, there was a Brew and Chew was a company I'd spent money at. And I went in there and I spent money using my phone, but I'd already linked my card. So I got my points. Well, is that an opportunity for Brew and Chew then to communicate with me as their customer? And how would that work? So, I'll give you the future vision, which we want to work towards, is I want Brew and Chew to be able to log into the system or be alerted to the system that they've got 59 lapsed customers that haven't spent money with them for 3 months. And they can then send a communication to those 59 people and track and see how much money that communication generates in terms of driving money back into that business. So there's a whole opportunity relating to communication within the platform that we've not yet touched on yet. Oh, I think you're on mute, Thomas.
Yeah, and I guess for smaller businesses who might not have they might have a physical loyalty scheme like a card, but haven't got anything digital, so aren't able to communicate with their customers digitally. Having something on a town level would enable the smaller businesses to kind of compete with the bigger ones and the businesses who have developed maybe an app for their business or whatever. Yeah. I think someone just needs a bit of clarification on what can then be done with the points. I know there's the town prize, but right at the end there, you also mentioned that you can use points to maybe in the future with specific businesses as well.
Yeah, the points. So the rationale behind the points equaling entries into the prize draw, I think is interesting to quickly talk about. there's a reason why we've designed it that way. And the reason is that we want to make this loyalty program free for merchants to participate in, 100% free. That means they don't have to pay for anything. They don't need to create any discounts. Because as soon as you start going down that route, you're going to limit the number of businesses that will participate because they've already got their own promotions, loyalty programs, you know, etc., etc. Then you get into staff training and all of the barriers that I kind of talked about. So therefore, you know, how design a program, a loyalty program that is free for everyone, that doesn't have a variable cost associated with it. So what we looked on with Mae Mi-Rewards was, why did people join the program in the first place? You know, and when we looked at all the marketing we've done for the program, they've done it for the chance to win things. And this is like research we've done like over the years pre-building this version of Mae Mi-Rewards, and we're like, but a bit of a breakthrough is like, well, okay, you know, if we said that every month there's going to be a brilliant prize to win, we can get consumers to register for the chance to win, and then, you know, their points balance gets wiped at the end of the month, and there's a new prize and a new message to get people to shop locally every month, and more people join the program. If you do it that way, you've got a fixed cost for the program, which is the prize, and quite often the prize will be donated by the businesses because, you know, they're going to be featured for a whole month as the center of that loyalty program, which has a lot of value compared to when they usually get asked for prizes, you know, which is a good thing to do for, you know, local charities or whatever it is. A business should be doing that, but they do tend not to get a lot back. Whereas here, they get featured for a whole month and they'll be promoted as part of the loyalty program. So the reason for doing it on prizes is to have a fixed cost for the program. And that means that you can make it free for everyone to be part of. And that's how you get the maximum uptake.
Okay, and it's just a question I have. I think people have stopped asking questions from the audience now. So who would essentially win the prize? Is it the person with the most points at the end of the month?
So it's around, so £1 spent equals 1 point, and 10 points equals 1 entry into the prize draw.
Ah, so it's, yeah.
So it's then a automated random selection, and the winner's details are then sent to the client. They can be sent directly to the prize winner, but the clients so far have said, no, we want to know who the winner is so that we can award the prize and get the photo opportunity that said, this person has won this prize by spending money in town. Make sure you join the loyalty program because next month, this is the prize. So there's always this rolling communication of new prize launch, prize winner, remember to, you know, the time's running out, make sure you've entered this month. So it's nice to have that ever-changing proposition, I think, to talk about, to drive local spend.
Yeah, definitely. So, as I was going to say, there's one more question that's just come in. As more and more small businesses go cashless and more to contactless, I guess because Colin mentioned linking a debit card would pick up the smaller, less than £45 purchases. I'm not sure if that's a question or a statement, but yeah, it could pick up any value of transaction, couldn't it?
Yeah, the only thing that we can't track is cash on the program, and there, you know, I think I've explained the reasons why that's not possible really to track those cash transactions, because you then encounter all of the barriers of trying to get people to identify themselves at the point of sale and scan something, and it doesn't work. So we can't track cash, but we can track any card transaction regardless of value or whether it's offline or online.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody would like me to make an introduction, if this platform, either the gift card or the loyalty scheme, is something that you're interested in, you can contact me directly at smarttowns@mentormon.com, and I'm more than happy to make the introduction. But also, I'm sure that Colin, you're more than happy for people to contact you directly as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, more than happy, even if it's just for a chat. There'll be no hard sale, but if you're interested in finding out more or speaking to any, our clients or whatever, then please, I'll stick my email address into the chat just now as well.
Fantastic. And if anybody does contact Colin, please keep us in the loop, because the Year of Smart Town is all about helping people learn what other towns might be doing. So if you're happy to share the journey with us, then we'd appreciate that very much. So I am going to end the webinar now. So once I click end, it will kick everybody out. So I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us today, and a special thanks to you as well, Colin. An excellent presentation. I learned a lot.
Thanks, Thomas. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending as well.
Thank you.